everyone, and welcome back to Ville Talks. My name's Eva, and tonight we are interviewing Dr. Ryan Eckert. He is the Chief Resident for the Internal Medicine program at UMKC, and also recently just matched for the Cardiology program. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm Ryan Eckert, and it's a pleasure to be here on Ville Talks. As was mentioned, I went to UMKC for both my internal medicine residency and also matched into cardiology. So I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. Can you tell everyone a little bit about what a chief resident is and your duties, and also what matching means?
Absolutely. So for internal medicine, being a chief resident is an extra year. So you do 3 years of internal medicine and then do an extra year of a chief resident. So it's a position that you apply for. And, most of my duties are administrative. I go to a lot of meetings, help the residents. I'm kind of a support system, which is great. I get a lot of administrative duties, but I also function as an attending. So although my title is chief resident, I'm also an attending in the hospital at St. Luke's Hospital this year. So it's kind of a hybrid role, which I've really enjoyed a lot this year.
Well, again, congratulations on matching in cardiology. Can you explain a little bit about what matching is and the process of all of that?
Sure. So, so for matching, both for residency and for fellowship, you go through a application cycle. So you put in, your application, all your research opportunities, all your scores on your exams, your STEP scores, and then you go interview at different programs, and then you rank those programs based on your favorites to your least favorites, whether it be 1 to 5 programs or whether it be up to 50 programs or more, and they also rank you. And then there's a whole computer system that goes through, and those programs, they rank you as well, and based on where you fit is where you get matched at.
Wow, it's a process.
It is.
So for someone entering into med school, what is that application process like?
So for med school, it's a little bit different. I went through a non-traditional program. I went through a 6-year program at UMKC. So for traditional programs, they go through a 4-year undergraduate type program, and then they go apply. They take the MCAT, they apply for med school, and they do interviews and things. For myself, being the 6-year program, it was a little bit different. I went out of high school and applied for the UMKC program, which fortunately enough I got into.
Wow.
So it's a little bit different, but basically, your MCAT scores and your letters are a big thing to get into the traditional programs.
What are some of the most important lessons that you can share with us that you learned as a medical student, resident, and then soon to be fellow?
I think as a med student, everybody's striving for greatness. Everybody's trying to, be the best, be perfect. And I think one of the biggest things I can say is, don't let setbacks hold you back at all. As a medical student, I struggled in one particular class, didn't do too well, had to repeat it, and it didn't hold me back at all. I took that time, I did some research, I did some publications, I went to different conferences around the country, and it was very helpful. So I think, it's all looking at how, those setbacks, how you look at it, basically. You can take advantage of it, which is what I would say you should do. You shouldn't dwell in the fact that maybe you had a hard time. I think another thing too is, if you are having trouble, go to your professors for help. Your professors are there to help you. They're going to be one of your best people to go to. So if you are struggling, go to them, but don't let setbacks hold you back.
Awesome. And now you were that for someone else as a chief resident for everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's funny how that works. So when we talked about important lessons and application, but what are some of tips or guidelines that you have for studying for exams or certain tests that you can do to prepare yourself for med school?
So I think, starting early is the best thing you can do. And definitely taking a review course. I think review courses are one of the best things you can do. They keep you on track. They keep you focused. They help you identify your weaknesses and your strengths. So I strongly advocate for review courses. But I think starting early, and again, like I mentioned before, if you are struggling in something, don't be afraid to ask for help is kind of the big thing too.
Do you have any words of encouragement for future med students, or any advice, specific advice?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a tough road. It's a long road. It seems like it never ends. You keep going and going, going. There's a test after test, and I think the main thing is, don't be jealous of your peers who are in different professions. They're all going on. They're, maybe getting married, maybe buying houses and things, and they have all this money to take vacations and stuff. But I mean, in the end, your profession is totally worth it. I mean, keep going for it. Don't feel like you're, lagging behind. Don't compare yourself to other people. I think that, just know that you're in the right profession for the right reasons. And in the end, being a physician is totally rewarding.
Do you have any advice for in-training providers?
Absolutely. There's been a lot of studies right now based on burnout and, physicians just being tired and, overworked. I think the main thing is have a support system. Family, friends are the best people to turn to talk about things. So be open, be honest. And even if you're in residency, your programs they'll have your back on stuff. So, don't be afraid to turn to people, I think is the main thing. Because in the end, this is only a temporary, point in your life, and you'll get past it. And I think you'll be totally happy afterwards. So, just power through it and just realize that you've got people to turn to.
You're about to begin your cardiology fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like? What's the future for Dr. Eckert?
So I will do 3 years of cardiology fellowship at UMKC St. Luke's Hospital. And then after that, I plan to subspecialize in electrophysiology. So total of 5 years, so 3 + 2. And I hope to stay in Kansas City because I love Kansas City, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your advice and your experiences with us, and we hope that you join us again soon.
I'd love to. Thank you very much for having me.